Good morning, class. This is Miss Bisan, your English teacher. Today our goal is to learn the difference between active and passive voice. To know that, you need to know what is the active and what is the passive voice, guys, right? Well, one of the fastest ways to improve your writing is to learn to differentiate. Then that means to know the difference between active and passive voice. Well, it's kind of easy. The first thing you need to know, and that's a very important thing, is that you read the sentence and you look for the verb. And the verb is there. You ask yourself, who's doing that action? Who's doing that verb? And this is where you will have your subject. Well, the subject is there and the verb is there. And then the one who's receiving this action, we call it as the object. So the formula is subject, verb, object. Okay, so the subject is doing the action, the verb is being done, the action that is being done, and the object is the one that is receiving the action. So therefore, the active voice, it kind of moves in a very logical action. Okay, whereas the passive voice, well, it's kind of like a backward construction where it slows the reader down since you have the object at first and then the verb in the middle, and this is where the subject comes at the end. So it's kind of backward, guys. You need to pass over to the end to see who's doing the action, and sometimes the subject is not there. Well, to know more about it, let's move on to the video that I have prepared for you, and that will teach you a better way. Now, you have the active versus passive voice. Well, see, active, passive, you're going to ask, and what is a voice in the first place? Well, the voice refers to the who or what that is doing the verb's action in a sentence. Okay, fine. So the active voice is the subject is doing the action, therefore it's an active subject. Passive voice means the subject is receiving the action, and therefore you have this passive subject. So look at this living room and figure out whether a sentence is active or passive voice. Look at the subject. Is the subject performing the action, active, or receiving that action? An example, a boy plays the piano. You have the boy is the subject, plays is the verb, and the boy is doing the action. Therefore, the boy is the active voice. Because the boy is the active subject, then this sentence is written in the active voice. The piano is played by the girl. Piano is the subject, is played as a verb, and the piano is receiving or not doing the action, of course. Therefore, the piano is this passive subject. And because the piano is this passive subject, then this sentence is written in the passive voice. Alright, so why do we care? Well, active voice is more concise, easier to understand, and less work for your reader. Let's look at some examples. Okay, well, let's see. So you hear the dog. You have two sentences. Number one, the dog scares the cat, and the two, the cat is scared by the dog. Well, in the first sentence, the dog scares the cat. The dog is the subject of the sentence and is actively doing the verb's action. See, the dog scares. Dog is the active subject. This sentence is written in the active voice. Okay, let's see the other one. Now the second sentence is, the cat is scared by the dog. The cat is the subject of the sentence, but the cat is not doing the verb's action. See? The dog is scaring the cat. So the cat is passive subject, she's the object, therefore this sentence is written in the passive voice. Now, some tips to help you rewrite passive voice into active voice. Let us see. Number one, identify the verb. The thunder is heard by Kira. Heard is what? It's the verb. Ask yourself, who or what is doing the verb's action? Who's hearing? That's Kira, of course. So, therefore you will have it. And then you have to rearrange the sentence order. That's a vice versa thing, guys, remember? So Kira heard the thunder, and that's active. See, as SVO. Remember, keep the verb tense the same. The pizza will be eaten by Mary. will be eaten is future tense, so therefore in the active voice you will have will eat. Active voice, more concise, remember guys, that's a recap, easier to understand and less work for your reader. Remember, the active subject is doing the verb's action. Remember that. Thank you very much, guys. I hope that meets you well. And I believe that after listening to that video, or watching that video, you will learn lots of things. And thank you very much for your time.